Well, hey, y'all are again. It's your buddy George Jones over here in the gun room. Uh, doing a little video. The idiosyncrasies of cleaning a semi-automatic pistol. Uh, this is my SIG 320. It took me 30 years to find a polymer frame pistol that I actually liked and appreciated, and finally I settled on this one. This is a pretty good solid gun, good shooter. There's a few idiosyncrasies about cleaning the semi-automatic pistol. Because the semi-automatic pistol ejects out of the back this way, it allows a lot of fouling and so forth to be deposited into the action of the weapon that you don't normally find in a revolver. So we're going to take this guy apart right quick, do a little field stripination here, if it'll cooperate with me. Come on. There we go. There we go. Let's take that guy apart just like that. And you've got the usual captured spring. Push that guy forward and pull it out of there. And then the barrel's relatively simple. It just comes out. Okay. So this, you clean this guy, the barrel, very carefully. You clean the inside of the slide very carefully. And then you deal with this. All those little nooks and crannies and crevices and so forth down in there where powder fouling and various things get. Now this gun, the interior of it, the chassis is almost exclusively stainless steel. So I've noticed that this gun doesn't get particularly dirty except up here in the trigger group. And it's hard to get down in there and get that guy cleaned. But let's start out where we need to start out. Clean the old barrel. Let's get the old barrel started. Get the old solvent out here. Get the old brush. It's the same one I used on the 38. You know why? Because a 38 is 357. 357 Magnum is 357 Magnum diameter. But a 38 Special is also 357 diameter. A 9mm is 355 in diameter. So it doesn't miss it by much. Okay. So get that guy good and wet on the inside. Brush it a few times, but get it good and wet of solvent on the inside. And then lay it aside. Okay. Then get your old toothbrush. Okay. Get you a little bit of solvent on it. Doesn't take a whole lot. And work your slide out. Down in there, clean that slide. Down in there best you can. Get your small end down here. Work on that guy. Just move it around in there a little bit. Come up here on this part of the slide, which is like on a revolver. It's called a battery face. Okay, get in there, clean that guy out good. Clean under that extractor. Okay. On this guy, the trigger pack is back here and is not readily exposed to fouling. But it's got this cut out here that's kind of hard to get into, but you get in there with that guy there, get that cleaned out a little bit. Okay, and then get you a rag and wipe her out real good. Wipe out everything you can wipe out. Okay. It's got a lot of little intricate cuts inside this slide that is different than most automatic pistols. There's a lot more machining going on in there than a normal automatic pistol would have. Okay, so there's a lot more cuts and guides and so forth happening in there. I'm not real sure why. I think they took a lot of metal out of there just to lighten that slide up to give it the correct throw. That answer would make sense to me. You know, I got a 15 IQ, so you know, pretty simple answers work best for me. Put that in there. Get you outside of the wiped off real good. Get you a Q-tip that's relatively clean. You just pull some of the hide off the end of that Q-tip. Get down in there and get your cracks and crevices and so forth cleaned out. Pretty simple, not a big deal. It's such a not a big deal. I don't understand why people don't do it. You know, that's the thing. This guy. Now this one stays relatively clean compared to most of them that I've seen. Browning High Power gets really filthy in here. 1911 gets really filthy in here. This one not so much so, but we can get out there and get us a little solvy on that guy, and get in here and brush around on it a little bit. Get you a little bit of solvent flowing in there. There's a couple of areas in here that are just almost impossible to get at. I think the chassis from this gun is removable. I've never taken the chassis out of it. Don't really plan to. I didn't see in the text reading the manual where it says the chassis is readily removable by the end user. I'll give a little shot of brake parts cleaner, just a little bit, not much, just enough to get the solvent flowing back out of it, and then go back and lubricate it a little bit. So take it over here like that and hold it down there and give it a little shot. That's why you wear glasses, because you can't get this stuff in your eyes. Give it a little shot. There we go. I wear readers for just about everything. Do not get this stuff in your eyes. You know, if you don't wear readers and you don't wear glasses, put on safety glasses when you use that product, because it's definitely hard on your eyeball, buddy. Now, it evaporates pretty quick and carries your solvent away. So the problem with brake parts cleaner is, like gun scrubber and the other scrubber products, the problem with it is it removes the residual lubrication from metal down to the molecular level. It's just a little squirt of it will take every bit of the previous lubrication that's in it. So we put a little back. It doesn't take much, just a little bit. And that guy is suddenly relatively clean. Okay, little general maintenance on it keeps it running. Now, there are 3 reasons for a firearm to generally malfunction. One of them is dirt. It's dirty. 2, something is broken. 3, the ammunition doesn't interface with your gun well. Okay? Now, and there's actually a 3rd one, which goes along with it being broken, which is your springs are out of time. Yeah, springs are out of time. Guns get out of time. The spring on this doesn't go just right and correspond with, say, your magazine spring, which is advancing this way. Your magazine spring is advancing cartridges as the weapon cycles. And if this cycle and this cycle are not working in unison, you get malfunctions. Your magazine spring may be in good shape, but your magazine may be dirty. Now, magazine is a relatively simple thing, and people Do not clean them at all. It's amazing to me. Last but not least, we mop out that old barrel. Get some mopping cloth here. Stick it down there like that. And run that guy out there. That's good and dirty. Throw that in the way. Come over here, get you another one. If you can get it to separate for you. There you go. Reassemble your gun. And that's relatively clean. Now, mop off the outside of your barrel. Your lock point on this gun and most polymer frame automatics is right there. That little shoulder right there is your lock point. Okay, so what you do is you come out there and lubricate that guy a little bit. Throw that guy back in there. Replace your spring. Get it to the correct index. Come over here and reassemble your gun. Back in there just like that. Back in there just like that. Lock your slide back. Do this, do that, do that. You're good. So function check. Pull the trigger, snap, hold the trigger. Work your action, release the trigger, click, snap. You're good. Now the magazine. Magazine is a relatively simple thing. Most magazines work about the same. You got this little guy in here, there's a floor plate, and underneath there's a keeper plate. So what we do is we push in on that keeper plate, push in on that button, slide your floor plate forward slightly, put your thumb over to retain your spring and keeper. Boom, it comes out of there like that. See, there's a little button right there. That magazine out of there like that. Okay. Real quick and easy way to clean a magazine. Get you a little lubrication of some type like this. It has come up there, put that guy in there. Okay, pull that guy through there. And that's generally all you need to do to clean the inside of that gun, or the inside of the magazine. Now, you can get a magazine brush, like this guy. You know, big old wildcat tail brush like that. That works pretty good, but typically, that's all you got to do. Come over, clean your filer, make sure it's pretty clean. Stick your filer back in there. Boop, like that, make sure it's in there right. Press your spring back. Press your spring back. Put your keeper back on there. Generally, the keepers are made in such a way that they'll go on there correctly the first time. Well, oh boy, here we go. We're about to lose control. About to lose control here. Get that guy back down in there and press it. Make sure you ain't got a spring lapped outside of it. Bring this guy back. Get it started on there. Pop, magazine's back together. Simple. Well, that's about the size of it. Basic semi-automatic pistol, cleaning and maintenance, and inspection. And there you go. Oh, got that over with. If you like my content, click on Patreon if you want to support me. Help me find guns and things like that to show. If not, that's fine. Like a tape, share a pie, commentate, and subscribe. Getting pretty close. People finding out about that old gun giveaway, and everybody in the country subscribing. We're getting pretty close to it. Down there about 200. And that should be pretty soon at the rate it's going. All ATF rules apply and like that. So, well, I appreciate you viewing my stuff, and we'll see y'all. Turn the camera off.